Hey guys, in this video I will show you the best recon bots which I use when playing Ascent with Sova. And we will start right here when we are attacking and going on A side. So let's start with this simple recon. You just wanna hop on top of this box and then very simply place your crosshair right here. And you simply full charge. It will uncover the whole tree room and get you the info if there's anyone here. The other lineup, you wanna stand right here and we will do recons on site. Firstly, you want to place your crosshair next to this high spike where the blue part is and go a little bit to the left. And you just simply do one charge like that. And it will get right here onto the back wall and uncover anyone who is on site. This is the best arrow which you can do for A side since it gets you the most info. But if that arrow gets broken a lot, you can try doing this by simply placing onto the most bottom one and right here on the tip. And once again you do one charge. It will land right here on the other side and get you pretty much the similar info. However, this time it will get you even heaven. If the enemies have been pushing this a lot, you can do this recon to either to reveal them and then try to pre-fire them. You can pretty much shoot it anywhere as long as it will reveal this part, and if you will shoot it even here, you will even get the info on site, as you can see, and it will go quite far. The other way how you can do this is just by simply standing here. There is this little block, so just simply place your cursor there, do one bounce and one charge. It will bounce off and land right here. Very simple arrow. Another lineup which you can do from here is this one. Just get into this corner and then place your cursor right into this above these window shutters, just so that you don't hit them accidentally. Like this, you do one bounce and a full charge, and this arrow will go all the way onto the B side, faking your position, and the enemies might even rotate just based on this arrow. It lands perfectly right here and it spots anyone on stairs, and it can even, you can use this as a supportive arrow if your team is right into the tunnels, and then you can try to lurk. If you wanna go mid with your team, you can do this arrow to support them. Just wanna get stuck in this corner where the barrier is, and then you just very simply place your crosshair right below this lamp, and you do one bounce and full charge. This arrow will land perfectly on this corner. That way, anyone who would be hiding in this corner is gonna get through in this corner, and also anyone all the way here. Great arrow, and it can get you a free mid control. You can do a very similar thing from tiles. At the beginning of the round, I just like to do this. That way the arrow will once again reveal anyone all the way here, here or here. Or if you do it close enough, it will even scan the shirt for you. When you are attacking B, there is plenty of ways you can do your arrow. I like to do these. Firstly, if there's anyone spamming with Odin this wall, I will just simply either stand in this corner, or you can do it even from this corner, as long as you have the vision of this tree, and then you place your crosshair right on this spot. And you simply full charge your recon. It will land right here, and it will reveal all this line and the whole side. You don't have to only do this if you don't want to reveal the Odin, or just very simply, just for if you want to get the info if there's someone on site. As you can see, works from the boss spots, and then you can wallbang it back. Other way, what I like to do, I just very simply place my crosshair at the tip of this tree and shoot there the arrow like that, and it will reveal you anyone who is standing on these stairs all the way back in here. Lastly, there is this lineup. You wanna stand in this corner and then place your crosshair right on this spot. You do one bounce and full charge. This way it lands right here, uncovering anyone who is on stairs, market or spawn. Great arrow, probably the best one that you can do on B, and it's also very simple, but you are in a more dangerous position. Now let's move on to post-plant lineups which you can do when you are already on site and the spike is planted. If you are on A, there are plenty of ways how you can do this. First one that I like to do, first lineup, is very simple one. I just stand here, I have a teammate or someone under the heaven, and I just simply shoot my arrow right on top of this. That way anyone who gets spotted, you can wallbang him through this. So it's very simple. There's also another way how you can do this. You just want to be under the heaven and then crouch and double bounce and make it go from this, and once again it lands above you, works the same way as the previous one. You can do this from more spots, but being close to this wallbang spot is probably the best. When the spike is planted right here on B side, you can wallbang through this wall, and there are two spots that I like to shoot my dart at. First one is very simply just right onto this wall. Once again works the same way as the previous ones, and you also want to do it close to this corner, so if you hit it like this, that way the arrow has the option of also scanning anyone in market. And the other way that I like to do it when we are here in the back, I just simply shoot it right here on top of this sign. Like that. It lands perfectly in the middle and goes all the way to spawn. And most importantly, uncovers anyone who would be hiding in this spot. So yeah, those are the simplest lineups in a post-plant. When you are the one defending, there are a few lineups that I like to use. Firstly, this one, I just simply stand here and place my crosshair like this, or I do a jumping one like that. I simply place my crosshair here and then jump and release it. And as you can see, it finds anyone here and all the way here. Very simple lineup and works great. There's more ways how you can do it. You can also shoot it on the side of this, just like that, and it works the same way. It's gonna land right here and uncover anyone who might be close. Or other way, if you want to play aggressive, you can try doing this just very simply at the beginning of the round. Works as the previous ones. If you are retaking a site, there are plenty of arrows that I like you to use. Firstly, let's do this one. You just want to stand right here, place your cursor on this bottom line and do a 2 charge, just like that. It's gonna land right here and find anyone on site. There's also more ways. Another one is very simply this one. You just want to shoot your arrow right here, so you full charge and jump and shoot it. This one finds anyone close to the generator, or you can just very simply shoot your dart like this, or do it with bounce off this wall. Then lastly, what I love to do is doing a recon under this, so I do a double bounce and it goes straight under this, and then you can simply wallbang it. Very easy to do. Sometimes when I'm on chart, I want to know if there's anyone right here in main, so I just simply stand right next to this line, place my bottom left diamond right here, and I jump and shoot it, just like that. You just press the button, it's gonna land right on this corner. That way it goes more to the right as well and uncovers you anyone who is in these spots. Very simple arrow, and sometimes it helps me to get the info. On mid, I don't have any lineup. I just very simply shoot my arrow either like this or the other way, just like this. So that way I either reveal top mid or the tiles. But one thing that I really love to do is being right here and playing the guy who rotates. So that way, if the enemies are close to this spot, I just simply shoot my dart right on this corner. And if I have some higher penetration gun, I just simply shoot through this wall anyone who is revealed. Or you can just do the arrow all the way back, and it just works the same. Lastly, when you are playing here on B side, you can do this lineup. If you are standing close to the stairs, you can place your cursor right here, as I'm placing it right now, between these buildings, and you do a 2 charge. Like that, it will go all the way to tiles and find anyone who is under the tiles. Even if they crouch, it will still spot them. And also it lands right here, and it gets you the whole mid, as you can see. A very simple lineup, and it's very useful for gaining info. Then from market, you can, if you want to do just very simply arrows, you can shoot it through this window, not like that. You just want a full charge either here or doing it on this corner. Works pretty much the same, and you are exposing yourself a little less. and it gets you one tick as well every time, since it's very fast to land and it would be hard to shoot. But on B with Sova, what I love to do is to play in the lane, and I love to do this simple shock dart, recon bolt, and I just always place my crosshair right between those two bricks. I memorize this way, and I just simply place it right here, and then I jump and shoot it, just like that. That way it lands all the way in the back, and it's very hard for enemies to shoot, since they would have to turn around all the way and break it. And if you wanna just simply shoot it in front of the B main right here, you just do one bounce and full charge, just like that, and it will land perfectly in the middle. So once again, you just wanna stand on top of this and place your crosshair close to this bar. And one thing to mention, your arrows can go through these bars, just like that. As you can see, they are not made from a solid thing, so it would be, as you can see. Last thing that I should mention is when you are retaking B, you should do this arrow every time, just like that. You want it to land on the bottom side, or just like right here on this corner. That way it will reveal the whole side, and then you can simply wallbang it, or at least you gain the info where the enemies are or are not. And as you can see, you can do it even from spawn. Very simple, and probably the most useful dart which you can do. And we will start right here when we are attacking on A side. Firstly, this very simple recon bolt. You wanna stand in this corner, and then you wanna place your crosshair right on this bottom of the second wood of the wooden plank right here, just right here. You place there your crosshair and you do one charge. The arrow will land right here, and this is everything that it scans. Usually when I'm attacking on A, I just do this simple arrow. You wanna stand wherever you want, and all you need to do is just see this corner. You place there your crosshair more in the middle of this thing, like that, right here, and then you do a simply full charge. Then this arrow is gonna land perfectly on the solar panel, and this is everything that it scans. It scans the whole side, and if you hit it close to the bottom or to this corner, it will even scan lamps for you. However, if you don't want to mess with this lineup, you can just very simply do your recon right there, and this back wall works perfectly fine. However, it doesn't scan more to these corners and these, so that's the only disadvantage. If you are going out of showers, there are two lineups that I can recommend. Firstly, you want to stand on this corner, but make sure that no one is holding this corner, and then you simply place your crosshair into this spot right in the middle, and once again you do one charge. The arrow will land right here, uncovering anyone on site. Or if you don't want to do that one, you can just very simply shoot your dart at this back wall, and it's gonna work perfectly fine as well. And this is everything that it uncovers. If I am attacking B, I usually do this lineup. It's a very simple one, and it gets you a lot of info on site. You just wanna stand in this corner, and then you wanna see this white arrow, and you simply place your crosshair right in the middle of this, right there, and you do a 2 charge. The arrow is gonna land right here perfectly on this corner, and it will uncover anyone on site. Oops, as you can see right here, anyone who would be backside, under window, or all the way here. Great arrow. Another arrow which is very situational but can work as well, and I remember it, is this one. You just want to get yourself lined up with this edge of the wall, and then very simply place your crosshair in this window which is see-through. Just in the middle, you do a double bounce and a full charge. And the arrow will land right here, spotting anyone who is in this hallway. When I'm going long and I don't know that there is someone holding, you want to get into this corner, and then very simply place your crosshair under this bottom left corner. You do a 1 bounce and full charge. and it's gonna land perfectly right here, even spotting anyone if he would be holding this annoying angle, or if there would be upper, he would definitely get spotted since he would have to turn 180 and destroy it all the way here. A great arrow. Otherwise, when I'm trying to go from long, I clear these corners and then do a simple recon right here on this corner. And you simply do a full charge by placing your crosshair on this top. And lands as the previous one. When you are already on site and you have planted and you want to get the info where the enemies are coming from, you just want to do your arrow right on this thing, on this pillar. You can do it anywhere pretty much on site, but I usually play in the back. You just simply place your crosshair like this and do a simple full charge. That way, if there's anyone who would be coming from these doors, he's gonna get spotted. You can do the arrow even lower if you want it to reach further. Now let's move on when you are defending and on a side. Firstly, we will start with these two arrows from heaven. And you wanna stand right in the middle. Doesn't really matter perfectly where you are. You just wanna place your cursor between this tower and this pillar right here, just in the between them, and do a simple 2 charge. This recon will land perfectly right here and reveal anyone who would be trying to push showers. Very simple arrow, and you can combine it with your teammate pushing, and the arrow will reveal them as they peek. Secondly, there is this arrow. You want to get into this corner and then place your cursor just below this corner, more to the left, and this corner of the building. So you place it right there, you do a full charge and jump shot, just like that. Very simple recon. It's gonna land right here perfectly on this edge, and it's gonna reveal anyone who will be standing anywhere near here. It lands usually close to the corner, and as you can see, it goes all the way in the back as well. So this arrow will get you 1 scan every time, since they will have no chance to react to it as fast as you think, and one of the best arrows that you can probably do. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that arrow, you can just very simply shoot your arrow this way. It lands on the back wall. You want to place it a bit higher, so that way it is hard to break. When I'm retaking a site, there are 2 arrows which I use. Firstly, this one just simply aim in the middle of this line, like this. This arrow will reveal anyone who will be even on short in this cubby, lamps, close to the spot, but doesn't get you the info if there's anyone here. So I usually, if I do that one, I combine it with spraying through this box. Secondly, there is this arrow. I just simply shoot it at this box, just like that. And this arrow will not spot me the short, but it will get me the info if there's anyone here or more deep in the lamps. Now let's move on to B side, and the first arrow that I like to do is this one. I stand in this corner, right there, and place my crosshair right below this line, on the corner of this. And I do a simple 1 charge. This arrow will land right here on the roof, as you can see, and it will surprise enemies, since if they push, it will usually land even behind them, and it's a difficult angle to predict the arrow. From the same spot, you can do a very similar arrow. This time, you'll be aiming at the top of this line, right here, and do a 2 charge. This arrow will land all the way here in the back, right here. And if there would be anyone, I usually try to combine it with my ultimate, since if the enemies would be here, it will even still spot them. If you are already on site and you wanna check if there's anyone in front of hookah, you can do this arrow. Just simply stand in the middle of this box and place your right diamond above this corner, just so that it doesn't touch it. You wanna make sure that there's a little gap, and you do a simple 1 charge. This arrow will go all the way here, land perfectly on this corner, and spot anyone who will be in front of hookah. I like to peek long, since there is this orb, and with Sova it's great to take it every time. So there are 2 arrows which I use to take this orb. Firstly, I just aim at this corner and do there my dart. This dart will spot anyone if they will be pushing. If it doesn't get broken, I take the orb. Otherwise, if this arrow gets broken a lot, I try to do this at the back side of this, and it works absolutely the same way. Once again, scans anyone who would be pushing me, and it doesn't get broken or it doesn't spot anyone. I just simply take the ARP. When you are taking B side, there is this lineup that I like to use. You just want to simply stand on this thing right here on this cable, and then there are two ways. You can either place your crosshair into this gap and do a one charge and a jump, and it's gonna land right here, or you don't have to even jump. You just want to stand on that same spot and place your cursor a little bit higher so that you don't hit this, just like that. It will go all the way up here and spot anyone. Lastly, if I want to check there's anyone on long and I'm right here in elbow, simply stand in this corner and place your cursor between those two leaves right in the middle and do a simple one charge. The arrow will land all the way right here in the back on this wall and spot anyone all the way here and anyone here. Great and simple arrow. And we will start right here when we are attacking on A side. With this simple recon, you wanna just get into this corner and then place your crosshair right into this curve on the mountain, right here. And you simply one charge. The arrow will land perfectly right here, uncover anyone who is backside or even in these corners. Very simple arrow. If you are already on long, you can do this arrow instead. Just hop on top of this and very simply place your crosshair right here, and you wanna do a one charge and a jump, just like that. It will land in a pretty similar spot, however this time it's a bit higher, so that way it gets you more info. If I am coming this from sewers, I very simply do arrow on top of this. You just have to firstly clear these two angles so that way no one is holding you, but when it lands here it just once again clears a lot of corners. If you are defending in a post plant, there are pretty much just two arrows which I use. Firstly, if I wanna get the info of how many players is coming from spawn, so I just simply usually stand here and just send my arrow right here. You just wanna simply full charge it and send this to this wall. The arrow will land somewhere here, it's up to you where you shoot it, and when it lands there, it goes all the way back here. So that way you know if there's anyone waiting for it or if the enemies are rotating from middle. Secondly, what I like to do is very simply shoot my arrow all the way here, but probably the best way how you wanna do it, you wanna do a double bounce and send it on this spot, pretty much in the middle. You do a double bounce and a full charge. The arrow will bounce off twice and land here pretty high up, so that way even if there would be anyone on stairs, he would already get spotted. And then you can use this arrow also if there's someone there and you wanna wall bang him through this wall. When we are going on B, I very simply do this arrow. You just wanna hug this wall and make sure that this window frame lines up with this middle wooden part between the windows, just like that, and then you very simply place your cursor right in the middle of this wall. You do one bounce and full charge. And it will just very simply land in the backside, getting you the info if there's anyone here or holding the left side. So just be careful, there can still be anyone in these spots. However, for B side, you don't really need to line up. Simple arrows like these on each side of these pillars work absolutely fine and get you as much info as you would need. And another benefit of these arrows is if you land them close to these corners, they will even check this gong area. When going to garage, you can do very simply this little arrow. Just you wanna shoot your arrow as close to this corner as you can and be aligned with this wall, just like this. And you do a double bounce and a full charge. This arrow it's gonna land right in the back. That way no one can be in this room except be holding this close angle or be in the window. And if you want to just simply check the window, you just want to get into this corner, make sure that there's no one close, and then you do your arrow like this. You just simply bounce it off this corner and it's gonna land on these doors right here. And even if there would be anyone closer behind these doors, he would still get spotted, and you can very simply wallbang the players if it scans them. When we are pushing C, there are two simple arrows that you can do. If you want to do a safe one, just simply stand in this corner and place your crosshair right on top of this first mountain, which is peeking out, and you do a simple one charge. The arrow lands on this back side pretty fast, and this is everything that it scans. Second arrow, it's a bit more dangerous since you have to cross to this corner. However, it's much more, it scans much more. You just want to stand in this corner, crouch, and place your crosshair right under this column, and you do a full charge. It's gonna land perfectly on this wall, and it will scan anything on site, just like this. This is everything that it scans. Or you can do from the same spot as you were before, very similar arrow. Just place your diamond right here, just like I do. You want to place your left diamond, the bottom of it, on this corner of this mountain, and you do one charge.
Scanning ahead.
It's gonna land right here on the side. That way it will clear this angle perfectly, and even if there would be anyone backside or anywhere in this area. Now let's move on to defending on A side. First, a simple arrow. I just at the beginning of the round I peek this with my bow fully charged, and I shoot it right here. And this arrow works perfectly fine. It's very fast to land. It usually gets you one scan. Other more passive arrow, for this one you wanna stand in this corner and place your bottom left of your headline where your HP is, right on top of this corner. I will zoom on it now, and you wanna place it like this so that this point is connected like that, and you do a simple 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
You wanna do this at the beginning of the round, and you can combine it with your ultimate. It's gonna land perfectly right here every time, and that way it will scan anyone pushing to the lobby or who is in the window or anyone waiting in this garden. If you know that the enemies are already on long and you do wanna peek that, you can just do a simple double bounce and full charge. You can just bounce it once if you want, but if you bounce it twice it will land a bit deeper, and it would be harder for enemies to break as well. When retaking A side, you should always do this arrow. It's a very simple arrow and it helps your team a lot. You just wanna hop on top of this box, or you wanna be coming from B. Either way, you wanna be on top of the box, and then you wanna full charge your arrow on this spot, just like that. This arrow will reveal the whole side, from this corner under heaven, behind these sides, or even in these corners on chart, pretty much everything, and you will get the information where every enemy is. On B side there are not many arrows, but you can do arrows like these to get the info if there's anyone in front of the garage. You want to do a one bounce and full charge, so that way it lands above the garage. And even better if there would be your teammate hiding behind this wall with some high penetration gun, and he can get some free kill this way. With Sova, I like to do this. I love to play in garage and have a high penetration gun, and I just simply want to stand in this spot, so that way there's only this little part visible. You place your crosshair above it right here, you do a one bounce and a full charge, and then you run all the way here. The arrow lands and you can wallbang these spots. Otherwise, when playing garage, I like to play passive. Don't forget to tell your teammates that they can be flanked from this spot. So when I know that there's someone in garage, I usually try to do a row like this, and then I try to wallbang the enemies. This arrow will spot the whole garage and no one is really safe. When playing on C, I don't really have a lineup for this. I just very simply just send my dart all the way here with full charge. That way it usually works. It's usually enough. Or you can change it a bit if you want. Just shoot your dart right here with a full charge on this corner. It works pretty much the same way. And lastly, when you are retaking C side, I love to do this arrow. I just want to stand
Right here.
on this connection right here, and then I place my cursor very simple around this spot, left to this window right here, and I do a one bounce and a full charge.
Revealing area.
This arrow lands fast and perfectly right here, and it spots pretty much the whole side. And we'll start right here on A side when you are attacking. There are two lineups which I use. Well, not really lineups, but these. For the first one, you wanna just stand and hug this first part of the wall, and then very simply place your crosshair right here in the middle of this pole and more to the left side, right here. And you do one bounce and a full charge.
Revealing area.
This arrow will go right here, land perfectly on this spot, and revealing anyone who would be trying to hide anywhere here. And it goes all the way behind this first pyramid. So all you would need to check is
Right here.
this spot, and also anyone who can be close. But otherwise, I don't really use this. I just very simply try to peek with my arrow in hand and either charge it at that wall, or even better if you charge it right here. And this is all you much need for attacking on A. There's not much that you need to think about, and those are the best starts. On B side, I have 4 lineups. Firstly, we'll start from the left to the right. So for the first one, all you need to do is just very simply, where this line is, you will be placing your crosshair right in this spot, and you do a free charge.
Revealing area.
It's a very simple lineup, easy to remember, and all of these 4 lineups are from the same spot. This dart lands right here and uncovers all this way, here and here. So from all these spots you are standing right behind this cage. That was the first one. For the second one, you will do your crosshair placement right here. You will see there's this little leaf hanging out, and you go straight down and place in your crosshair right next to this part, a bit to the right of it, so you don't hit it accidentally. And once again, you do a 2 charge as you did before. This will go all the way right here in the back and uncover anyone who will be more into the back side. Once again, same spot. This time you are using your drone wheel, and you will be placing your drone wheel between this little flower and these wires. So you place your drone wheel right above the flower in the middle, and you do a 2 charge once again.
Scanning ahead.
And it's gonna land right here in the middle perfectly, uncovering more of these spots. Lastly, the fourth lineup, you will be simply placing your bottom of the right diamond right on this flagpole, and you do a 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
It's gonna land right on this corner, and this is everything that it uncovers. If you are going middle, you can just very simply do your dart right here. Just simply aim on top of this and shoot it. You can do it even higher if you want, but it just works. At the beginning of the round, if you wanna get the info and you wanna push these mid doors, there is this barrier gonna be, and you will be probably somewhere in this corner. Then you would just wanna simply place your crosshair right in the middle of this
Right here.
iron plate and do a 2 charge.
Revealing area.
And it will go perfectly right into this spot. It might surprise the enemies. It's quite easy to break, but it usually gets you the tick, since the enemies wouldn't really pre-aim it and wouldn't expect it, since it lands very fast. Lastly, if you are trying to push mid, you can just very simply stand right here,
Right here.
and then place your crosshair at the bottom of this pole right there and do a 2 charge.
Revealing area.
It will go straight into this
Right here.
tunnel and catch anyone off guard who might be holding here with op and trying to be holding maybe this angle, or even trying to push you here. Since it lands right here, it will still get them even if they are very far. Now let's move on to defending and start here on A side. Firstly, in the tunnel, you can do this lineup. Just get into this corner, and you want to place your crosshair right onto this third tile and on this wall on this corner right here. As I'm aiming right now, you do a double bounce and a full charge,
Scanning ahead.
and this can confuse the enemy since it's gonna land right here in the middle, and it lands right there, so it will get anyone right here, even at the entrance of the cave. So it's a really cool arrow. It can catch people off guard since they would never expect that arrow to land there. Otherwise, you can just very simply every time shoot your arrow like this, or if you want to do it right here, you can do a double bounce and just shoot it there. It will still land here, and it can surprise the enemies, and if you want to push, it can work as well. On mid from A, there are two ways how you can do the arrow. This is the first one. You just want to line up these doors with this window like this, and then place your crosshair right below the window, and you do one bounce and full charge. It's gonna bounce off and land right here. And the other way is just very simply trying to shoot this arrow right here, and it can get you the early info that you might need. When you are retaking A, this is one of the arrows that might be useful. Just want to stand right in this corner and place your crosshair right next to this tip of this wood, and as close to the corner as you can, and do a 2 charge. This way the arrow is gonna land right here, and anyone who is on site is gonna get uncovered since it goes all the way here in the back. It lands right there once again, and it just doesn't get this corner, it goes all the way here. Anyone behind the pyramids will get uncovered, and anyone in these spots as well. When there's an A execute, it's very common to have a viper on this map, so the wall will go either like this, and you are usually behind these pyramids, and if their wall is up or there are smokes, you can just very simply do this arrow right here, and it will uncover anyone who will be in this spot. They cannot really hide from it since that arrow will be all the way here, unless they are very far in this corner, but otherwise they will always get spotted, and you can have some free kills if you kill them through the wall, or you can just simply charge the dart into any spot as RDs. When I'm playing mid, there's only one dart which I use, and I just get stuck in this corner and place my crosshair right below this window right here, and do a 1 bounce and a full charge, and this arrow will just perfectly land right here, and it can spot you anyone who might be pushing the bottom mid. When you are retaking B, you can just very simply go in this corner like I do now, and place your bottom left side of your headline right onto this flower, just like this, and then you do a 2 charge, or you can just very simply eyeball it and place your right diamond on top of this, and then go a bit up. So this is the eyeball, and this is how you will do it with the flower. I like the flower ones, and it's quite easy to remember, and it will land right here. Wherever this one is gonna land right here, it's still very good, but I like the flower, it lands right here, and it gets you just a bit more info. It's perfectly in the middle, and it's a bit higher, so it would get you more info. Lastly, here on B side, I like to do this lineup. There's usually a barrier at this spot, I think, and I just stand here, hug the barrier, and place my crosshair right next to this break, where these 2 breaks are connected. Place it there, and I just tap the recon. It goes over all of these walls, lands perfectly right here, and it gets you the early info at the round to know if the enemies are there. If it doesn't get broken, that means that no one is probably here, and you can very safely push this. Otherwise, usually enemies would always stand here waiting for a push. It would at least catch them off guard, since it would spot their legs. It's a really good arrow to do at the beginning of the round. And we will start right here on A side when we are attacking. Firstly, there is this simple dart. Just stand in this corner and place your crosshair right on this spot, and then you will do a simple 1 charge. The arrow will go all the way in the back, reveal anyone who would be behind generator, heaven, or backside. Second way how you can do a similar lineup, just stand on the other side, and then there's this arrow. Just simply place your crosshair above it and do a 2 charge. This arrow will land all the way up here and scan anyone who would be here behind the generator or trying to push this. If you are going to the left, you can do this lineup, which I love to do. Just stand right here on this yellow line in the middle, Then there is this zip line, and you want to place your crosshair right from this middle line right here.
Right here.
You don't want to place it directly in the middle, you want to do it a little bit to the left, and then do a one bounce and a full charge.
Revealing area.
This arrow will land perfectly on this corner
Here.
right here, and it will see anyone who will be all the way even on spawn,
Right here.
heaven, and all the way even behind the generator. This is a great arrow and it gets you a lot of info. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that lineup, you can just very simply place your crosshair.
Here.
You want to try to hit this spot.
Right here.
So you just simply aim above it and shoot it there.
Revealing area.
The arrow will land right here perfectly, and it will once again uncover anyone who is on site behind the Jenny. This time even heaven, a little bit of all the way here, and anyone here.
The spike.
A great simple arrow. Now let's move on to middle. There are two lineups which I use. Firstly, it's a very simple lineup. You just want to stand pretty much anywhere as long as there is this little gap so that you see this. And this is exactly where you place your crosshair, and you do a one bounce and a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
And the arrow will land very fast right here, and if there would be anyone on the ramp, he would get spotted. Secondly, I use this lineup if we are going B and I want to do a different arrow than I usually do. You just want to stand all the way up here, hug the corner, and place your crosshair right into this spot. You do a double bounce and a full charge.
Revealing area.
The arrow will bounce off twice, land right on this spot, and it would spot anyone if there would be anyone behind yellow or near the side. Very simple arrow, however it's quite situational. When we are attacking B side, this is my favorite lineup. I just simply stand between these containers right here. Then you place your crosshair. There are these black and yellow stripes, and you place your crosshair right here below them and to the right of the other one. And you do one bounce and a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
This arrow is gonna land perfectly right here, and it will spot anyone who would be here in this spot as well, or anywhere behind yellow. If there's someone at yellow or right here holding this corner, you can distract them by doing this simple arrow. Just place your crosshair right here into this gap, and you will double bounce and full charge.
Scanning ahead.
This arrow will bounce off and land all the way in the back right here. That way they would have to turn around to destroy it, or you can get the scan and then peek them. Or you can do this lineup as well. Stand between those two containers and look all the way up. See this, and you place your crosshair right to it, and you do a two charge.
Revealing area.
You don't have to think twice about it, it's gonna land right here. Perfectly on this wall, and if there would be anyone at yellow, he would get spotted. In a post plant on B, you wanna do these two arrows, either one right here, very simply just full charge it on the back wall. That way you will check if there's anyone backside, or just shoot your shot right here on spawn. That way, if there is a wall or smoke, you can just simply peek it and try to get a free kill if there's anyone in front of it. When you are defending A side, there are three simple lineups that you can do. Firstly, just very simply stand anywhere in this area and shoot your dart right here on this spot. This dart at the beginning of the round will spot anyone who decides to push this. If that arrow gets broken a lot, just shoot your shot right here.
Revealing area.
Works the same way, however, it will spot only when enemies are here. If you want to do a different one, you can just very simply place your crosshair right here from this corner and do a full charge there.
Scanning ahead.
This arrow will land right here and scan anyone who would be already on the belt, all the way here or anywhere closer. Or you can just very simply do a dart like this from this corner. There is this line, and just simply go up and place your crosshair right here, and you do a one bounce and a full charge.
Revealing
That way it will go through this hole, bounce off and land right here very fast. When I am retaking A side, I like to do this simple lineup. You just want to stand anywhere near this, and usually at this corner, and place your crosshair right into this corner as well. And you do a simple one charge.
Scanning ahead.
That way it will land perfectly on this corner, revealing anyone who is anywhere on site, or all the way here in the back. If you are coming from rafters and you want to check if there is someone on top of the site, you can just very simply stand on these stairs and make sure that there is this little gap.
Right here.
Then you place your crosshair there and do a one bounce and a full charge, and this arrow will land all right here, and it would spot anyone in this on top of the side, and then you can wall bang them. Otherwise, if you are just simply retaking from rafters, just make sure you try to shoot your dart right here. You want to shoot it above the generator and as high as you can, to close to this corner, so that way you get as much info as you can. On B side, I do this simple lineup. I just very simply stand in the safe spot, and at the beginning of the round I shoot my dart at the top right there. If you are playing on top of the site and you want to check if there's anyone in front of B, just get into this corner and place your crosshair between those two little stars which are aligned with the top of this container. Just between them, and you do a simple one charge.
Scanning ahead.
Just like that, it will go right here.
Right here.
Right here.
here.
And it would scan, or if it gets broken, you still get the info that there's someone. When you are retaking B, there's this simple arrow. Just get on top of this bridge and place your diamond right here. Just like this, and you do a one charge.
Scanning ahead.
The arrow will go all this way along and land perfectly right here, and once again it scans anyone behind yellow or in these spots. A great and simple arrow. Otherwise, doing arrows like this, they are cool as well, since they spot you what you need. You can shoot it right here in the back, or you can just very simply do one arrow all the way here on this this wall. That way you get a bit more info, and it would be a bit harder to shoot. And we will start right here when we are attacking on A side. So firstly, I use this recon. I simply stand in this corner and I place my crosshair right on this corner as well, and I do a simple one charge, and it lands right here on this spot, revealing a bit of this all the way here in the elbow, goes all the way here, and this is everything that it gets. It gets you a lot of info for this simple arrow to do at the beginning of the round. There are two more arrows which I like to use. Firstly, this one, I just very simply shoot it like this. I try to hit it close to this entrance, and when I hit it here, this is all it gets. And lastly, what I like to do is this arrow for this spot, and I usually jump and shoot it like this. That way it lands right at this spot, at this corner, and it gets you all the info all the way here in the back, heaven, bit of elbow, and that's all. Lastly, on A, there is this recon which I love to do. I just simply do this. I aim in the middle of this wall, usually right here, and I do a one charge. And I always do this only if we have a jett in team, and she will dash all the way here in ramp in heaven. The arrow will land right here, and if the enemy would be anywhere close at this spot, he would have to break the dart unless he would get revealed, and then he would be a free kill for our jett. And if he decides to destroy it, he's looking the other way, and our jett will peek him usually at the same time when he breaks it. So it's a very great way how you can have an open kill and get an entry. Lastly, on A, I sometimes do this arrow when we rotate and I want to fake A. I just get into this corner and place my bottom of HUD line right into this spot, just like this. As you can see where the HP is, I place there my HUD line right there, and I do a one bounce and full charge, and it lands right here on this spot, revealing anyone on side, under here, or elbow in the back. When we are going B, there is a few lineups that I like to use. Firstly, this very simple one. I just get into this corner and then place my crosshair right at this spot, right on this bridge, right into middle. I do one bounce and full charge. With this arrow you can go, and when it lands you can pretty much peek, and it will land on this back side, and revealing anyone who is anywhere here, even at this spot. A very simple and very easy to arrow. It gets you a lot of info. Another arrow which you can use is this one. You just want to get stuck in these tires and then place your HUD line right here. You will be using your HUD line on the right side. I will zoom on it, and you want to place it into the top right corner of that window, and then you do simply full charge, and this is where the arrow lands. uncovers anyone who is backside. And if you want to do a recon into heaven, you just want to get stuck in this corner like I do now, like this. And then you will be using your charge bar line, and you want to place the bottom of your charge bar line, the first line, right in the middle of this line. That little light which is shining, and you do 1 bounce and full charge.
Revealing area.
It takes a while to get there, but when it gets here, it will look like this, and it's gonna get stuck right here, and it will find anyone who is in heaven. When I am defending, there's few arrows which I like to do. This is the first one. I just simply place my crosshair on this line and shoot it there, and it will reveal anyone who is close to this spot. You can do very similar thing right here from heaven, from the ramp. Just simply shoot your arrow right here. You're gonna get stuck here at this corner and find anyone there. If the arrows on the left side were broken, you can do just very simply shoot it right here on this corner.
Revealing area.
Once again, we'll reveal anyone here. And lastly, you can do an arrow simply on this board. You can do either full charge or just doing it like this.
Scanning ahead.
Works the same way. Both are land fast and can get a one tick scan each time. When retaking A, there are 2 arrows which are very useful. You can do it either on this corner,
Revealing area.
just like that. If it lands here, this is what it gets you. A lot of info. Or if you want to do it more for the backside, you will be aiming more for this lamp in the back, but you would have to get these corners
Scanning ahead.
very closely. And however, when it lands, it gets you a lot of info. Usually enemies will be trying to break this, and it goes all the way here in the back. Great arrow and gets a lot of info. Whenever you are playing mid, you just want to simply do arrow anywhere at this spot. It doesn't really matter since you wouldn't really want to do this often, but if you do it, just do it very simple here, or if you would be in the vent, you can do something very similar to the top side of this,
Scanning ahead.
just like that. It will land right here above the enemies. It would scan them every time since it is very close to them, and they would not have that much time to react to that arrow. When I'm playing in heaven, I like to do this lineup. I just simply stand in front of this poster, and then there is this corner which is sticking out the most, as you can see, compared to the others. And you just simply place your crosshair right next to it, and you do a 2 charge. I mean, you do a 1 charge, just like that,
Scanning ahead.
and it will go behind the enemies all the way here, and it can scam them if there's anyone. I don't use this arrow, but if I hear anyone there, I just do this for a quick scan. But what I love to do is this simple arrow. You just want to stand all the way here in the back and place your crosshair right here, and then you do a double bounce and full charge.
Revealing area.
It will bounce off twice and land all the way here in the back. That way, even if there would be anyone here or anywhere in front of the tunnels, he would get scanned. A simple arrow and gets you a lot of info. Lastly, recons which I use when I'm retaking site, I most often do this.
Revealing
I am
area.
trying to hit my arrow always onto this thing right here, and that way when I land it, you want to land it as close to this corner as you can, like this. That way it will get you the info all the way, everything right here, just like that. So yeah, it gets you a lot of info. And there's the other way how you can do this as well. You can just very simply shoot it to this wall.
Scanning ahead.
Once again, you wanna always try to hit this corner, so that way you get as much info
Plant the spike.
this way as you can. And also don't forget that you wanna do it as high as you possibly can, like that, so that way it goes more
Right here.
into this corner. Very simple. And for the first one, we will start when we are attacking and on A side. You wanna stand right here where this crack in this stone is, and hug the wall. Then you will simply look up and look at this K, this one, and that's where you're gonna place your crosshair. You wanna do a 1 bounce and a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
The arrow will bounce off the wall right here and land perfectly on this spot every time. And this is what it will reveal. From the same spot, you can do a different recon. You just want to place your crosshair right here where this stone and this will meet. You place it there and you do one charge and a jump.
Revealing area.
Just like that. It's gonna land perfectly right here. That way, if your enemy is gonna decide that they wanna push the dish, it's gonna reveal them and you can wallbang this, so they would be a free kill for you. And lastly, from the same spot as you were standing before, you wanna place your crosshair. This time there is this little line and you wanna place it right here.
Right here.
And then you do a simple one charge.
Scanning ahead.
This arrow will go all the way here.
Right here.
And this is everything that this arrow will spot. Otherwise, if you have already pushed dish, you just want to do simple arrows like these. You want to concentrate on clearing one side, so doing arrow like this, or very simple arrow like this.
Scanning ahead.
Work just fine for you, and it will gain you the info that you need. If you are attacking from the other side on A, and you know that the enemies are pushing here a lot, you can do just very simply arrow like this. You can do either one bounce or two bounce. I will show both of them. Firstly, one bounce. You just wanna create this little gap between those two corners and do a one bounce and full charge and place it right in the middle of the wall. Firstly, the arrow will land right here, and if there would be anyone pushing, he would get spotted. Or you can do a double bounce as well, and it would look just like this.
Scanning ahead.
It will always land on this side
Right here.
of this crate. That way the enemies cannot really hide behind it or push this. But be careful, they can go behind here, behind this box, and be holding this.
Right here.
So that's the only disadvantage. If you have the control of the A hallway, you can do this arrow, very simple, stand anywhere in the middle and place your crosshair just on this dark line, and you do one bounce and full charge.
Right here.
And it will land usually on this spot,
Right here.
and if it lands more to the corner, the better, and it will reveal anyone in this area. Another simple trick, you can stand in the middle of this wall, just like right here, and place your crosshair on this slope line right in the middle of it. You do one bounce and a full charge, and the arrow will go straight through and it will land perfectly right here. And that way, if there would be anyone holding ropes, he will spot him, or even anyone at these corners. Now let's move on when we are attacking on B. And you wanna get stuck in this corner where the barrier is, right here. And then you will place your first charge bar line right here on this corner. Just like this. And you do a simple 2 charge.
Revealing area.
This is probably one of the best arrows. It lands very fast and it lands all the way up here. It would be pretty hard to break, and if there would be anyone
Ahead.
trying to push this long, he'll be spotted, and always anyone pretty much anywhere on site. Secondly, you can do this lineup, just get into this corner and place
Right here.
the bottom left side of your charge bar line into that corner, and you do a 2 charge, I mean 1 charge. It's just gonna land right here,
Right here.
be hidden behind these leaves, however it will still spot anyone in these spots. Lastly, you can do even arrow like this, just stand in the middle of this wall, there is this little line, and then place your bottom of the left diamond on this spot,
Right here.
just like that, and you do a 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Very simple arrow, and it's gonna land perfectly right here, and it will spot anyone on these spots. Now let's move on to attacking from the other side. This is a very safe arrow. You wanna place your crosshair above this, so that way you just hit it at the corner, and it's very safe since you are hidden all the time, and it doesn't really matter where you stand. And you just pretty much simply aim above it, and you do a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
And it should land on the corner like this, and this is probably the best arrow, since if you land it on the corner, there are a lot usually enemies playing here or anywhere on site, and this everything that it spots. Secondly, there is this arrow. You wanna get stuck in this corner and place your crosshair right here.
Right here.
and then you do a 1 bounce and a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
It's gonna bounce off and land perfectly on this spot. And this is everything that it uncovers. If you wanna do arrow all the way here, you just wanna go here in this corner and get stuck right here. And then very simply place your cursor on the left tower.
Right here.
And you do a simple 1 charge.
Revealing area.
It's gonna land perfectly in the middle and it will get you the info if there's anyone playing in the tower. Otherwise you would usually break it or at least retreat. And you can simply push without the worry of anyone being here. Now let's move on to defending, and let's start here at the dish on A. You wanna get stuck in this corner and then very simply shoot your arrow right here on this little bend. And you do a 0 bounce and full charge.
Scanning ahead.
The arrow will land right here, and if there would be anyone pushing this, he'll be spotted, and you can simply wallbang it after it. Otherwise, do an arrow like this works just as fine. You can stand pretty much anywhere and shoot it along
Right here.
this side of the wall. You do a full charge. If you shoot it right here, the enemies will be spotted and it will look like this. And it will be hard for them to break since they would have to turn their back to it. Or you can do even arrow like this. Just simply place your cursor above this spot and then you do a 1 charge and jump.
Revealing area.
Just like that. It will land on this rock, but be careful, enemies could have been pushing really fast and this arrow might not catch them, they just
Right here.
will hide behind this corner. But otherwise it should get you the info. If you are playing halls, you can do this very simple arrow, just stand in the middle, or you can hug this wall and then do your arrow right in the middle of this. And you do 1 bounce and full charge. And the arrow will land perfectly on the other side, just like that. Even though this window was fixed, there is still this little gap, and you can shoot your arrow just like this. Just get stuck in this corner and place your hardline where your HP is on the bottom of this little square. You wanna do it like this, and then you do a simple 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
The arrow will land on this corner, and if there would be anyone anywhere here, he will still get spotted. And you can combine it with wall banging from here, since you would have enough time to get into this position, and then you can wall bang. If you are defending on B, you can do this simple recon. Just get stuck in this corner and place your left diamond on top of this flower. Just like this, and you do a simple 1 charge.
Revealing area.
The arrow is gonna land perfectly on this tree, right here, and this is everything that it spots. Or you can even do this simple trick, just get in this corner and place your cursor right here below this line and just a little above this one, just like this. This is the spot. You wanna aim at the corner, do 1 bounce and 2 charge.
Revealing area.
It will bounce off and land right here on the tree.
Right here.
That way, if there would be anyone pushing, he will be spotted. Or if you wanna do your arrow on the other side, just get stuck in this corner, and there is this lamp which is gonna be peeking out, and you place your cursor above it and a little bit to the left, just like this, and you do a simple 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
The arrow will go over this wall and land perfectly on this corner. That way, it will spot anyone in these spots. Lastly, when you are playing on B and you are taking A, you can just get into this corner and do this simple recon. Just place your cursor right on this corner, and then you do a 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
And the arrow will land perfectly in the back,
Right here.
and covering half of the site and getting you the info if there's even anyone behind this site. So yeah, those are a few lineups that I would use when I'm playing on Fracture. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, it will really help my channel out. And if you wanna, just let me know in the comments what else I should make, what other videos would interest you. And see you guys soon, and bye.